Our last podcast in 2023 today to talk about all things Lebanon Warriors with AD Keith Pantling. Keith, how are we doing today?
Awesome. It's here at school. We have exam week, so it's a little bit of a unique schedule, but sports keep rocking and rolling. And then, as you know, continuing right through break, we'll be competing.
Yeah, it's the shows have been great here in the winter. The teams are doing well. We'll take a couple-week break and get back on January 8th to do these weekly podcasts. But why don't we jump right into it and start with boys basketball, and let's talk about.
So they got off to the first two games of the year. We talked about dropping a close one to Kings and then a tough Elder team. Came back and got a couple big wins over Walnut, West Claremont, and LaSalle. And then this past weekend, two one-score games that we dropped. I don't really have to go too much into the details, but the boys side leading the way in 3-point percentage, second in points per game. But rebounding is not really our strong suit. Teams with bigs are kind of going inside, and you know how it goes. There's high-level basketball, it starts to become a little bit of a chess match, and
yes,
that's what teams are going to do with us. Milford had 23 offensive boards on Friday night and 44 overall. I don't know that we have a player over 6 feet and 200 pounds combined, so there's going to be more of that this year when we run into some bigs. Miamisburg was a big, strong team as well, so trying to figure it out and overcome that. So right back at it. Get a much needed time off. We had a bit of a sprint schedule there for December, so we'll play Little Miami on the road on Friday, and then we host a holiday tournament over break, sponsored by Vega, on the 28th and 29th, I believe, that Thursday, Friday. And so we'll play Talawanda on that Thursday, followed by prior to us playing will be Wilmington and Fenwick. And then the two winners will play on Friday here, and there'll be a consolation game as well. And that's a freshman, a JV, and a varsity tournament. So those 2 days will be busy here. We're looking forward to hosting everyone.
Yeah, that's nice for all four of those programs to get games over the holidays, and they don't have to travel very far, and that's just fantastic.
Yeah, it should be a great event.
The one thing, going back to those losses, even though they're 3-point losses, you talked about not having size, but they must be playing well as a team, and they're getting down and guarding and playing good team basketball.
Yeah, there's a cohesive group. Again, we're guard heavy. I think a lot of it'll come down to how we're shooting that night. Man, when we get hot, we can go beat somebody by 20 points. And sometimes if the shots aren't falling, you got to do the little things right, and you got to rebound and do those types of things. So you got to play complete basketball games in this league, in this schedule, with the schedule that we have. And so when you're not shooting it hot, you got to find other ways to be productive and shrink the game down, play on the half court and do some of the gritty stuff. So they'll keep battling. It's probably good to get a little time off, but I'm sure they're excited to get back on the court and try to get a win under their belt and get things back going in a positive direction.
Well, best of luck to them in this holiday tournament, and get a good break in, and we'll update the fans when we get back the first of the year. Let's switch over to the girls' side. Off to a nice start last week. Let's see, Edgewood, Ursuline, Milford, all solid opponents, and having a nice season so far, Coach.
Yeah, 4 players averaging over 10 points per game, 5 over 4 rebounds per game. Maddie Muller, 5.5 assists per game, 3 over 2 steals per game. So just kind of looking at the statistics, I was trying to see if you could kind of summarize our season in a nutshell, just kind of looking at numbers and things, having been to a lot of their games. And those are all positives. I think, unfortunately, our shooting percentage is near the bottom, and our assist to turnover ratio is absolutely abysmal. So if you were to watch us play, you would recognize those things right away, I think, through our first 5 games. So hopefully, I know Coach is working on adjusting those things, take care of the ball, and maybe shoot a little bit higher. Just 38% from the floor and 23% from 3-point range in this league. We just won't get it done. So they have an opportunity to still battle for the league. And it's going to be an uphill climb after dropping that one to Milford, but they're poised to do it, and I know they're going to give it a good run here as we have 3 games this week. Little Miami tonight, Turpin on Thursday, and then Saturday We
Miamisburg at
host
home.
Miamisburg, which is a non-conference game, all before the holiday. So they have a busy week.
Yeah, that sounds good. So best of luck to them to this week, and getting that shooting percentage up. And I'm sure coach will be working on some drills to make that happen. So best of luck to them this week. Let's go to the lanes, Keith. Talk the always tough boys and girls bowling with the Lebanon Warriors.
Yeah, boys are 6-0. Girls are 5-1. Both are undefeated in the league. Caitlin Kober on the girls' side, top 5 in the league, leading with a 157 average. On the boys' side, Stephen Kramer, first in the league, 221 average. And also in the top 5, Giovanni Williams at a 202 average. So they have one more match. They'll have Edgewood on Tuesday, and then they'll take a big long break over the holiday and be back for a push for the ECC title on both the boys and the girls after the holiday. So, yeah, they're doing great things as always. Deep program. The JVs are doing awesome. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I get updates all the time about how good the JV programs are doing as well. And I always tell Coach Ron, we don't rebuild, we reload in that program. So we'll just keep on keeping on.
What is it with? Is it the experience with coach? Is it having success at the JV level? What would you attribute to Coach Ron's success with Lebanon bowling year in and year out, Keith?
Well, to be honest, he gets the most out of them. He's not just there to have a field trip to the bowling lanes. He's teaching them oil patterns and release points and all different things. Like, he's really coaching up the game, and it's impressive to watch. He has a passion for the sport. He's been ingrained in it for a long time.
Right.
And I think the kids respond to that when they see improvement, that they want to continue to be coachable, listen. And then when they see the results, just the whole group starts feeding off that with each other. And yeah, they all get better year to year.
It's really exciting. I just love high school bowling. I think it's great. Great things what coach is doing, and best of luck to them this week in the last meet before 2024. And let's dive into the pool, talk boys and girls swimming.
So Wednesday, they'll have LaSalle and Ursuline. This past weekend, they were at the Holiday Classic, which they always really, really enjoy. And they'll get one more duel in, LaSalle and Ursuline. I think they're down near St. Bernard Elmwood Place, somewhere down in there. Okay. This week we hosted them last year. So they'll get one more in until we flip the page. And as you know, once you get to January, it's a dead sprint to postseason conference meets right into sectionals and so on. So big holiday time for them in terms of getting their bodies right and getting times where they need them to be.
Sounds great. Best of luck to them as they wrap up 2023 and get ready for the grind of 2024. Let's go over to the mat, talk boys and girls wrestling.
Like we always talk about, they're all over the map. The girls yesterday, really proud of them. They won the Ross Invitational. 22 schools were there. We're just deep. We have a lot of girls out, so we can put somebody out there in every weight class. So they were really successful. And the boys went 5-0 on Saturday at the Harrison Duels, which is always tough. So this weekend, the boys head to the Coaches Classic. It's now at Middletown. 44 schools, I think, are there. 40 of them are from the Southwest District. So you talk about a litmus test of where you're going to be and what your chances are to go through sectionals, get to district and or state. This is the meet where you're going to see the guys you're going to see in that postseason and kind of see where you're at. So it's really fun. I look forward to getting over there and watching our kids. In terms of some of our studs that are returning, we lost three states qualifiers, a few of them on the podium. So we're in a reload mode for sure. But senior Toby Gentry at 120, Colton McCall Jr. at 138, Liam Sprague at 144, Bryson Alley, who's just a monster, at 190, and Tanner Smith, a senior, at 215. Those are some of our guys whose names you've heard before and have been in the varsity lineup. And then you're going to have some new guys that are battling here internally, having wrestle-offs to see who's in that varsity lineup. And that kind of creates some competitive energy, if you will, for them to continue to compete in that room, knowing they're going to have another one right after the new year, I believe. So talk about those JV kids continuing to compete, knowing they have a chance for the varsity lineup. So that breeds excellence in our program, that competition. And we'll always send 14 guys out there, or 13 guys that are, high-level wrestlers. So that's how we do it. And those are the names you'll kind of see ingrained in that varsity lineup. And pushing for some postseason success.
Well, I'm looking forward to talking on January 8th how they do in the classic, because it's a grind, and I know you guys always have success at it, and it'll be fun to talk about how they did on Friday when we get back on January 8th. So best of luck to them on Friday.
Absolutely. Appreciate you checking in before the break. Have a great holiday. If you get some time off, Rob, I know you're always busy and working as well. So appreciate all you do.
Yeah, thank you, Keith. One more thing we wanted to wrap up, booster yard signs. Those are wrapping up, and I'm sure some people would like to hear how they can do that and get that before we sign off.
Yep. So that sale's coming to an end. All those proceeds benefit our programs. You can go to LebanonWarriors.com, click on the booster link right at the top menu bar there to go to their site and grab one here before that sale ends, before the holiday.
Sounds good, Keith. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all the Lebanon Warrior fans, and we appreciate them supporting this podcast with you. And thank you for your time, and we'll touch base in January.
I was going to say, Rob, one time I was going to like maybe give out a prize or something at the end to see if anyone actually stays and listens to me through the whole thing. Like, hey, if you stop by my office, I may do it right now. If you stop by my office or send your child to stop by the office, I got a spirit pack for the holidays. If I know that somebody actually watched this through the end, we'll see how that works.
So if they come in and say, go Lebanon Warriors, I watched the whole thing, you're going to give them a spirit pack.
Correct. Yep. Just one. All right.
Sounds great. Thanks, Keith. Have a great holiday.
Take care.